comes to like an Arab girl, you're probably not gonna fuck her. I'm just telling you from real life experience, they tend not to be slutty. Now, it's a little bit of a different story because they tend to be sneaky. But if you look at like Chaldean and Assyrian women, it's different. Persian women, it's as long as they're not Muslim, not that hard.
Have you been with
the Palestinian women are like the one like Muslim women that I would say from personal experience, rather they're cheap dates and rather easy. Just my opinion. I just have to put
Have you been with a Moroccan?
No.
Listen, love is love, and you spell love Love, and you can shame anyone you want, but the truth is, love is a 4-letter word, and God is a 3-letter word. Rabbeinu Shalom. The head of the Jewish clown house priesthood is here. All hail Migzed, the one true son of Hashem. Rabbeinu Shalom. All hail Migzed.
That's a 2-letter word.
I just wanted to say that not all Palestinians are Muslims. I just wanted to make that clear.
They're all trashy and cheap dates. They're all trashy and cheap dates.
They're too angry. They got too much hate and resentment.
Why?
I'm just kidding. They're not trashy. I do hold. I'm holding firm. They are cheap dates.
Are beautiful, man.
They go down very easy. Just. You're not hearing any complaints here. I'm a happy customer from my experience with them.
Not customer.
Where is this takeoff from?
Pepe, you sound poor though. How can you afford them?
I said they're cheap. I mean, fuck. You don't need to have money.
Do we have to center the room on Muslim men and Muslim women? Can we move the conversation forward, moderators, please? For the sake of our brains, let us move this conversation forward.
Let's talk about Jewish girls.
Let's talk about the women that I went to Catholic school with. Once they were all grown up, a lot of them are still hoes, dead ass, still hoes.
What are their profiles?
But it's weird, right? A lot of these lovely girls, who kind of, who were quite, slutty in high school, they become nuns later in life. I just don't understand.
That didn't happen in that never. Here's the weird thing, and I'm actually being serious when I say this. Like, the girls that would, like, cheat in high school or were, like, promiscuous and shit in high school, I never saw it change throughout college, and the few that I still, like, know at this time, they're still like the same fucking people.
Pepe, do you think it's a lack of education that permits a woman?
Yeah, Catholic schools are bad. That's the problem, right?
They're not bad. You just had a lot of women that were hoes.
People slutty. I mean,
But then again, I have to remind everybody, my high school was half fucking Mexican, and I mean, dude, you can guess what any pregnant teen mom was in my high school. We already can guess that answer.
Or even drug addicts. They were all drug addicts. Is that what you're saying?
No, Mexican. Okay, first of all, they go through puberty a little bit earlier than white kids generally, and they buck like rabbits and they breed like rabbits. It's just a fact.
Are you talking about the Northern Irish? T-Robs. Oh, hey, T-Robs is here.
No, I was talking about the Mexicans.
I thought that the Irish people were sick of the Northern Irish people from trying to outbreed them.
The Irish are trash, and we try to warn you guys about it. Look what they did today.
It's called Shanty-Irish. They're so woke now.
Didn't their foreign minister's daughter get kidnapped by Hamas, and then on October 7th, and yet still they recognized them? I mean, I think the Irish used to be pretty cool. I mean, they would wear those.
They were good people. Post World War II, they've had a cultural decline.
Do some damage. Now they're a bunch of pussies.
Irish are literally burning down fucking equipment and construction coming in to build new refugee camps, right? Like, they're not more of a fight than any other fucking Western nation.
Well, that's good to hear.
If I could highlight some of the more particular concerns of Ireland as it pertains to Israel-Palestine, they have their own partition they're dealing with. They have Northern Ireland. And all
You're telling me this like I don't know.
No, I wasn't telling you. It's not Pepe.
I don't understand who would kidnap an Irish.
Well, I mean, the Irish used to be I think if the 80s, if they would have tried to assemble refugee camps, I'm just guessing, the Irish or IRA would probably gun down the people, behind it. They just would never allow it.
Well,
You
hey,
really
Pepe,
gotta
you gotta look at some of the stuff.
IRA
Wait, hold on.
it is from certain perspectives to Hamas.
Zed, hold up.
Yo, can you mute that hot mic? What in the fuck is that?
What are you talking about? I'm talking right now.
Yeah, what are you playing? The fucking nuclear reactor from the Star Trek ship or something?
You're in a washing machine.
No.
That was nice.
Hey,
Can you let that
hey,
go, please?
There's a lot of stuff going on right now in Ireland, and I'm pretty sure that T can tell you. But look at the fact that they were going to try to build some houses, and the construction equipment, they can't replace it because it got destroyed in the process of them clearing land.
Well,
The cabs of the excavators and heavy equipment got burnt out, and then other companies are either refusing to hire them new equipment because they either are showing solidarity, right? They believe that, or they're afraid that their equipment's going to get burned out. But either way, on some of these camps, the construction's being halted because of what local people are taking into their own hands.
I'm just curious. So who cucked Ireland, responsible for the cucking of Ireland? And to be fair, like the rest of Western Europe, is it the EU or is it the Anglo homos?
It's global homo, right?
EU.
All the top 10 tech companies in the world have offices in Dublin and the surrounding areas.
Oh, I forgot about your tax laws.
So there's, a huge amount of people that are around.
Yeah, American
living
companies
hardcore life.
exploiting Ireland. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are a huge offshore money laundering operation for big tech, so they don't have to pay taxes to the U.S. government.
American
Ah,
companies
okay.
against Ireland.
Well, if
Can you
America
rate on a
ever,
scale from 1 to 10, hold on. Can you rate on a scale from 1 to 10 what you think of Anglos, those dirty Brits, the Protestant ones?
I am pros.
Oh,
So who's
You're not a real
destroying-
Irish, then, never
Who's
mind.
destroying Ireland? The American companies or Chinese companies?
it's your own woke government in Ireland which is destroying your own beautiful country. That's the truth.
No, I think it's mostly American companies. Right? They're not Chinese companies destroying Ireland.
No, it's the Irish liberal purple-haired whack job Karens that are in control of their clown world government.
But American tech companies, right?
Where do you think the world government is going to have the HQ?
Well, guys, what are you talking about?
it's going to be in Tel Aviv, okay?
No,
New York City.
no.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem, this time next year in Jerusalem.
In Switzerland.
It will be in Guatemala.
It's gonna be in Oslo.
Guatemala.
It's gonna be in Eretz Yisrael. It's a fact.
No. It's gonna be Switzerland, dude.
It's gonna be Ramallah.
Yeah, who wants to
Well,
live
maybe-
in Switzerland?
I think Switzerland it is.
Migzad, tell us about the Mashiach and where the Mashiach will be. Where will be the Mashiach's government? Will it be at 770 Borough Parkway Drive in Brooklyn, or will it be in Eretz Yisrael?
How many Goyim slave will you have after the Messiah, whatever the fuck you call it?
Can I put it, Migzad, can we get a contract on 100 future slaves for a penny a slave? Could we get that contract written today?
To be clear, the
There are not
glorious messianic age that the majority of the world prays for is the moment when my family gets properly enslaved back to God on behalf of the Jewish people working at the temple. So the slaves of that era, that'd be me. That being said,
The slaves shall serve, Rabbeinu Shalom.
Shut up.
that being said, I don't get any slaves. I serve at the pleasure of the people when the temple is settled. And as to your question as to where the seat of power
Well, okay, so when you hear the Jews, like,
Messiah would be, it is very clear that there is only one location, Jerusalem, specifically the Temple Mount. The temple is the seat of power.
Rabbeinu Shalom, from your lips to God's ears in Shemayim.
But I want to become government. I want you to.
Oh, hold on.
I want you to serve.
all right, shut up, Thomas. I want to ask him a
I
question.
want you to serve.
God damn, shut up.
Migzad has illuminated the clown
Oh my
world.
God! Now this fucking Jew. Jesus Christ, guys, stop. Okay, now, all right. So we just, like, when you've probably seen the YouTube videos, and they go around and they ask, Israeli Jews, like, about the whole thing about them getting slaves. Most of them say they don't believe in it, but it's usually somebody who's like, has a beard that ends up eventually saying like, yes, the Goyim will be our slave, blah, blah, blah. Are you saying that's not a part of that's not something that's believed by people in your religion?
I'll explain it this way. There are verses that I believe use the term slave, like servant, eved, in reference probably not to all of the people of the world, but more like the kings of the world. And I'm pretty sure the basic read, if you were to just read it as text, is that it's saying like they'll pledge fealty, that they will acknowledge.
You don't sound like an authority. You sound more like a follower.
Hold on.
I am both a follower and an authority. I've studied it many years.
I want to become God. I want you to serve me.
There
Great
is
stuff.
no human God. Okay.
You can't tell God to shut up.
I do know the evangelical Christians think you guys are going to be in Israel starting wars across the world, and then you guys are going to have to accept Jesus or you're going to perish to hell.
Old men
How about
with
some of
long
these quotes?
beards agreeing with your stories about slavery is because there are many writings and there are many types of Jewish writings, some of which that are more metaphorical and they take them literally and they run with them and they invent all kinds
All
of
children of Goyim are animals.
So the people
Even
you're
the best of
finding
Goyim
with
should
very
be
long
killed.
No. We're not
Gentiles,
saying
Goyim,
that.
not humans.
the
They are
stories
beasts.
that they
A
have
Jew may violate but not marry a
since
non-Jewish girl.
they were children.
Gentile Goy girls.
But-
Yeah, moderators, this would be a good time to silence the Northern Irish.
I'm executive vice.
Right. So, the slavery is not accurate, but if you were to refer to any of the
I'm reading
stories
directly from
being told, the stories would indicate bits of the slaves. But a fair reading of the text would really illustrate to all of you that it's talking about other kingdoms pledging fealty specifically in service of the one true God. Because even if we did have a king, which, this proviso was set up when we asked for one,
No,
he
almost-
has to be a servant to the one
I'm going to have
God.
faith.
The only reason
I'm
that
This is awesome.
non-Jews would be considered as servants is because they would be learning from the Messiah the true worship of the one true God.
Almost said he's going to have 5,000 Goyim slave. Ask him.
What was it that I was reading that was not a fair reading? What?
Would they mention my
That
name?
was not a fair reading.
Who are you talking to?
I wish I was American, then I would have an American dream. That would be to become God.
Mixed, can I ask you a question about your PTR and the Jewish star or the symbol of Solomon? Are they not the same symbols or essentially Hermetic mysticism or below is above, above is below?
Jews don't have iconography, especially not stars.
So what about the Star of David?
Great question. I've got issues.
That was an ordinary question.
So you mean I hit the nail on the head or I made a mark with that question? Why is it so delicate to you personally?
Cross is what you did.
Jews should not have symbols. It's up there on the Ten Commandments.
Oh,
Especially,
yeah.
Yeah, we try to
the
say
star
the commandments
is
of the
generally
Christians,
considered
and we
to
should
not
know.
be associated with the stars, that no one is bound down to it in worship of a star. But I still have issues because it seems to me like a violation of the law.
But isn't it like the symbol of the nation of Israel, not necessarily the religion of Judaism?
Yes.
When was the star adopted? Great question.
1948.
When the star was 18.
So you guys, you guys don't have like with Christians like the crucifix or anything. Like you guys don't have like a sacred symbol.
Well, I'll tell you, in a shul, you'll see first of all, a lot of words, right? They put words up on the wall, sometimes beautifully drawn, but mostly they'll be bare, especially the eastern wall, the wall that we use to pray toward, or western wall, the one facing Jerusalem, because that's where Jews try to direct their prayers, so that wall specifically we leave clear. Not even really supposed to have windows in it. There is an exception that you can put windows in if there are 12 of them. and it's not supposed to be stained glass. Like there's a limitation on iconography, especially in our houses of worship. You'll see many Orthodox shuls that'll be Zionistic will not put an Israeli flag in their shul because it is a symbol of a star, and that gives the impression that we are worshiping a star.
Are European people allowed the same desires as what the Jewish people desire for Israel? As raising their own people?
What kind of people?
Are the European people allowed the same desires of the Jewish people, preserving their own in their own countries?
Yes, of course. I would say that the idea of Judaism is somewhat based off of Babel, the Tower of Babel, which Abraham, according to the accounts, witnessed himself based on his age and location.
So why is it that we see so many Jews advocating for multiculturalism? Why is it that we see so many Jews
I'm in the middle of a sentence.
for multiculturalism?
Just a second.
Elsewhere,
Break up the sentence.
I'll get to your follow-up question in a second.
Break up the sentence.
Okay. Now.
Just keep filibustering.
Yeah, sure. In terms of the story of Babel, that was clear. That
It's fucking delicious.
that the people were divided.
I love it.
United at one moment for a giant global project, and it fell to infighting. The lesson seemed to
What
be,
about
as
the
Jews
semantics?
teach it, is that all people have their own legitimate language, culture, and identity, and that they do not naturally match. That they should develop
It's
on
not
their own.
indexical though.
I don't know what you mean by indexical, but it sounds stupid.
You don't understand? Indexical, that means you're stupid.
Yes.
Well, I gotta say that McZed demonstrates an incredibly high level of intelligence and emotional intelligence because you gentlemen don't know how to have conversations. You ramble and you gaslight, and you don't let somebody who has high value intelligence transmit their ideas and opinions as you're even asking them questions. You gentlemen do not know how to have conversations, and as such, McZed is the green bean master, and you guys are just a bunch of schmucks who refuse to be educated. You got 2 ears, 1 lips. You should speak twice as much as you listen. I am finished speaking. Thank you very little. I'll call you. Don't call us. Riboinoi Shaloiloim.
Amazing. So I read directly from the Talmud, but apparently that was.
You read Aramaic?
I'm reading a translation of it. Is that all right?
Oh,
Or is that not? Is that unapproved?
You said directly. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Sure.
Okay,
I think you could get the gist of what I was saying. Do you need a translation for gist?
No.
How
Just
much?
let him read.
Yeah, sure. How much of the Talmud are you reading from?
Oh, I'll be very brief, as I was trying to be.
Oh, brief.
Brief, yeah.
Come on,
Do you understand
guys.
English?
Just to be clear,
Stop listening
Doesn't
to
understand
here.
America, great.
one line out of like a 60-volume set.
Oh no, I've got paragraphs if you really want me to go.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Can we please end the deep murdering contest right now and allow me to talk?
Murdering Gentiles is like killing wild animals. Shut
What kind of graph?
Okay, good. Thank you, T. So we did
Well, they can't read
this.
directly.
We did this a few hours ago in another room, and we actually read the whole conversation between the rabbis. Because just reading one sentence of the Talmud is really not fair, because you have to take context. These are conversations that rabbis are having about thought-provoking topics, and they are deciding and deciding how to interpret the Torah. And so just reading that piece, it doesn't mean that rabbis are always right. They have been challenged, a lot of them, and so
Where
you
is it in
cannot.
Christianity
That
that
means
there
rabbis
are?
waste
Where
his
is it
time
that in Christianity
debating
that there are?
nothing.
Well,
powerful
that's true,
phrases?
because in
paragraphs,
Christianity we don't have such a books, unfortunately, actually, because it would be very enriching for us Christians to have all the dialogues that our priests or our prominent Christians were having with each other when they were interpreting the Bible. And I think that if we had such a book, we maybe
We
could
have that.
understand better
It's
the Bible.
called
Shut up, Thomas.
Oh,
Last
it's
summer, I'm
called
gonna kick you out, and I don't care how funny you think you are. So, a lot of Christians, I mean,
No, but I'm
if we-
serious. I'm telling you, that's a whole
All right.
school of philosophy. It's called scholasticism.
right, but you can do that without interrupting, right?
No, but I'm telling you. But you say that we don't have it. I'm telling you, it existed for a couple of
We
thousand
don't
years.
have
now.
any book such as the Talmud
Works
that
of
has
Augustine. Have you heard of works of people like
that
Augustine?
has hundreds of years of conversations
That's
recorded.
what I'm telling you. It existed for 2,000 years. Isa.
I give up.
But I'm telling you.
Yeah, scholasticism, the whole history of philosophy of scholasticism is based on that. That's what exactly they do.
It's
That's
not
the
all
whole
the
philosophy
dialogues,
of
Thomas.
church.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong. There is no other book.
How am I wrong? How am I wrong?
He's trying to reference the scholastics, a certain era when Christianity had a bit of a stranglehold on universities.
Sorry to hear that.
In fact, Descartes was the one that really kind of ended that era because he was very devout. He faithfully asked the church if he had permission to investigate through pure reason his conclusions, and that was when he developed cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And he had to get special permission because people were already writing outside of the scholastic system because they considered it too restrictive in thought. And Descartes was an amazing mind.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
there's a
Tim,
whole history
if you
of Christian
continue-
philosophy, discussing, debating. The whole science was also connected to this. Development of the whole philosophical system is very much connected to the scholasticism. Agreement, disagreement based on that. But you can't make a statement,
Right,
blanket
so-
statement saying that Christianity doesn't have it. I mean, that's a very
Yeah.
ridiculous statement.
Okay, then I am ridiculous. But Tim, if you actually want to get deeper into what this sentence that you read means, you have to read the whole dialogue and understand that there are, I don't know if only two or various rabbis discussing this at once. And so you will see pushback on the things that some of them say, and it's a back and forth. And
Sure,
that is how you
there's
get context, apart
there's-
from, of course, the
There's
era.
pushback
when
about
people
many things. There are Jewish people. There are Jewish people that want to take away the Holocaust, which people use to beat others over the fucking head with for eternity, because they cannot exist on a level playing field with the rest of us. They have to have special treatment. There is, within this community, yes, there is discussion in both ways, sure, but I don't need to know every single fucking sentence or every single counter argument when I can see the downstream effects of these things in reality. I can literally see with my own eyes the videos I could share with you where there's groups of Jewish people, Jewish something, I saw it earlier even just today, in Greece welcoming migrants. But where are they welcoming the migrants in Israel? They welcome them into Europe and into the West, United States. They welcome them everywhere but where they're from.
Dude,
That's
they're in war. They're in war.
they're
in Israel.
so they get special treatment. Sure. Amazing.
Special treatment.
No, we are sending them to Rwanda. If you come to Europe, we are sending you all to Rwanda.
Rwanda's beautiful. Must be saved.
Special treatment.
Sorry to hear that.
What other religion has outlawed speech against them?
Outlawed speech against a religion. Where has that happened?
In the West.
The funniest thing is that you don't know that it's happened.
No, they're just feeling. They're just
Well,
feeling
first
ignorance.
of all, it is not, it's just the bill yet. It's not a law, number one. And number two,
I'm not even talking
this
about
is
America.
happening, this is
There are
happening,
words
this
they
is
cannot be said in
happening
German.
because some woke people decided that freedom of speech should not be absolute, but there could be hate speech and there could be offensive speech and all this
I
shit that
think
they
these things
invented
were
a
on the
few
books
years
in
ago.
Germany and France
And
before
so
the word
now
woke
that there
was
is a
considered
precedent,
insulting.
now that there is a precedent for LGBTQ language and feminism and racism language that is all categorized as hate.
Do you know who was the first person that
As
ever
hate
used the word
speech,
transgender?
Now that has opened a door for other groups of people to also adhere to these laws.
Where was the word transgender first uttered?
Wasn't it Goebbels?
Anybody? Take a
Was it
guess.
good?
I thought it was
No, I'm
money.
saying what?
Wasn't it money?
No, I thought it was I thought it was old boy in World War II Germany. Well, pre World War II.
Yes, the first transgender clinic in Berlin.
Yeah, it's Goebbels, right? Wasn't that the doctor's
No,
name?
Goebbels was the master of propaganda. No, there was a transgender doctor. I'll go get his name if you really want me to.
Yeah, sure, you brought it up.
Tim, but
It's amazing.
I guess all I'm trying
What
to
they
say, we
advocate
did
for
this
everyone else.
already in the other room.
What they advocate for everyone else is not what they accept or demand
What
for themselves.
they
in their own.
advocate?
Sure.
Who?
It does sound like every government official that we have.
Precisely. Who?
Sound like Cardinal.
What is the overwhelming group that is within, for example, the Biden administration that's overly represented? And I don't mean men. I mean something a little higher resolution.
Americans?
You mean Irish people? Because I mean, it's very easy to do this.
Sure.
If you try to
White people.
White people.
I don't.
I think he means the same people that are overrepresented in the Nobel Prizes, right? Maybe they're just too competent, and that is your problem.
Yeah,
Wait,
for sure.
hold on.
No,
They were just
As soon
Like,
as Obama got a Nobel Prize,
The
not
religious
legitimate.
affiliation of the Supreme Court Justices of America.
We also have some Nobel Prizes in Guatemala.
Guys, it was a question. Has anyone checked the religions of the judges?
I'm not checking about religion.
No,
I'm
it's
talking
should.
about
It's
not
nationalities.
confirming their
In other words, dual nationalities.
I'll cut to the
Jewish
chase.
nationality?
Irish.
No,
It's
it
not
is
Irish.
Catholics and Jews
Oh, really?
at the Supreme Court.
Okay, that's not the question that was asked, by the way.
Rare Protestants, rare atheists.
So that's an amazing deflection from the point at hand.
Can you answer his question correctly?
Very.
It's an amazing answer to a question.
No,
that wasn't asked.
but what was your question? Can you repeat that again, please?
What is the predominant, overwhelming nationality of people within the head of the Biden administration?
What nationality are you talking about?
Well, I think
Nationality?
that's
Black. Jewish people.
Answer the question, guys. I don't.
I think he means Jews, but Jews is not a nationality. So I'm kind of confused.
Really? I thought by birth they were all entitled to
No,
citizenship.
Jews are
No, so you didn't understand. We can happily explain it to you. But the fact that someone is Jewish, it doesn't mean that he has a nationality of Judaism. There is no such thing.
Sure.
I don't know about that one because there's a dual citizenship.
There is no such nationality.
It's a simple question and a simple answer. You can't give that away.
Yes,
You guys
it's
can-
America. America is the largest, biggest nationality. Because in order to be in politics, you have to have American citizenship, which means that it's your nationality, but also where you're born too. So a lot of people that are in there are Americans. So America is the largest nationality.
Are there any people that are entitled to citizenship in other countries when they weren't born there?
You mean immigration?
Well,
laws?
that's-
Which country has immigration laws? I wasn't born in Italy. I wasn't born in Italy, but I have Italian citizenship because my parents are from Italy. So I have Italian citizenship.
Really quickly. Hey, wait, hold it, T. The Jewish people are ethno non-religion, so like it's considered religious as well as ethno nationality, whatever.
Since no one apparently knows what I'm talking about, right? You can all just make up your mind what I'm
No,
talking
we do
about.
know. We just the way that you're framing it is wrong. We're trying to correct
just
you.
trying to deflect and take
No, we're trying to correct you.
You're not going to correct me. I haven't even said what I'm going to say.
No, you said the Jews. You said the Jews is a
That's real
nationality,
nice, but
and
I'm
that
gonna
is wrong.
repeat some
And we
of
are trying
this,
to correct
okay?
you.
Very simple. Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State.
Anthony
You can guess.
Lincoln,
Alexander
American.
Mayorkas, Secretary of
How
Homeland Security.
dare that
You can
American
guess.
be informing the
Michelle
Americans on
Lewinsky.
their
Yeah, but okay, but no. Listen.
You can guess.
Okay,
Eric
but
Monders,
may I go back to
Technology.
it? No, but one
You can
second.
guess.
I
And
know.
Nuremberg, Deputy.
Nuremberg.
What are you talking? I don't understand what he wants.
You can guess.
Someone say what he wants. Hey, Gobbles, can you tell us what you want, Gobbles? Can you tell us what you want?
Senior advisor to the COVID-19 response coordinator.
Okay, can you
Yes.
mute him? He
Alex
just keeps on
Gensler,
talking.
chief of the
Very
US
proud.
Intelligence
He's the only one in his family that
You
can
can
actually
guess.
Makes sense.
Can you tell me what he's talking about? Can anyone tell me what he's talking about?
Tim,
When
quiet. You gotta make pauses, dude, because otherwise
I'm not
we're not gonna be
finishing half
able
the
to
list.
hear it.
No, you need to make a point. We don't care for your list. Make your fucking point. Don't read the list.
Listen,
Why are you
everybody
crying,
knows.
But
Everybody knows.
don't be answer his questions. Answer his questions.
Everybody. Yeah. So you have read this list several times. Everybody knows what you're talking about. You don't need to read all the names. So let's please just talk once at a time, because otherwise we cannot hear any of the sides.
If all of these people had dual
Show some
nationality
Dakar
to
on the
China,
What?
if all
What's
of
his
these
point?
people had dual nationality to Russia or China, people would be losing their minds.
They don't have nationality.
Okay.
Please, you need to listen also. You were
No.
talking now for an hour.
Okay,
Okay?
Tim.
I
Can
wasn't
you
talking.
mute for a second?
You can shut the
You
fuck
did.
up. Okay.
You can shut the fuck up because you need to listen.
Let him.
Wait,
One
wait, I
audio
speak
guy
over
right
you
now.
here. Well, I have pushback to Daniel though. If they're not a nationality, like what
Hold
is
on first, and let him first make the point, and then you can push back.
The Jews are a nation. We have been a nation since we were formed.
Yeah, so
So
that's
here's
a
one
nationality,
counter.
right?
I think no, that's a counter to what some other Jew in this room just said, right? So you're a nation and not just a religion.
Yeah, we've always been a nation.
We are,
Okay,
no, hold
precisely,
on.
that's the point.
Hold on.
That's
I
the
want to
point.
correct. There's
Daniel,
two
Mike.
meanings to the word nationality, okay? We are a people. But as a nationality, what you're talking about nationality,
Israel.
having a nation.
Aye.
Exactly, we are people. We are people.
No, but can you answer his question properly, please?
It's
Well, yeah,
called
he asked about nationality.
It's called dual allegiance.
Wait,
I by birth,
I
I grew up in my own country for 10 seconds.
Israel.
I by birth,
That stands
because of
for
where I'm
three
from,
words.
I'm entitled to two
Meaning
passports.
nation.
Okay.
Yisrael, meaning Israel, and Chai, meaning lives. The nation of Israel lives. Am Yisrael Chai. We always say that because we've always been a nation.
Hey, check this out.
No one cares about that. Let him
Can
ask
we
the question.
please have a conversation instead of a dick measurement contest?
No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to bring levity to the whole thing because I'm asking questions.
Because I went.
But look, the definition of nationality, I'm reading it right now. Nationality is the legal status of belonging to a particular nation. So when you say, like, Jewish people are not a nationality, like, I mean, Israel is the nation. And they call themselves Jews from that nation.
That's
I mean,
correct.
you're not a national.
Yes,
so
but
you
there are
used to-
also Arab Israelite or Israel.
But guys, you don't answer your team. Your team. You don't answer his question. Answer his question.
I'm sorry.
The nation of Israel was properly formed in its earliest era. You'd say the 70 descendants of Israel that left for Egypt. You could also say the nationhood was at the exodus of Egypt when they conquered the land of Israel, or returned to their family, however you want to look at it.
And
That-
also, don't you
That
have
would
Arabs
be the
living in
nation.
Israel
They were
as well?
nation before they had a land. They were desert, and they've been a nation.
Hello.
Therefore, I'm getting like a feedback. Each one of those 12 sons of Jacob had their own tribe. Those tribes federated into a nation, and that national identity grew as they became a singular culture. And that has been the nation of Israel. Before the destruction, right, before anyone noticed the end of Israel, there had to be an Israel. And when they ended Israel, the Jews kept on Jewing. And they continued that. And they were successful at restoring their state, which was remarkable and I think
So
probably.
Jews and Israel are one and the same. Thank you very much.
No, Israel is the father of Judaism. Judaism is synonymous with Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel.
And also, didn't
Whoa.
someone say
Did you hear that?
20% of the population
Holy
in Israel
shit.
Alright,
Well, I mean, everybody's just
everybody
like-
say goodbye to Tino.
Our conversation is getting to be like a little bit silly and stupid. Okay, look, you can be an Italian and of Italian descent, okay, but you're not an Italian national. In other words, you were not born there.
Wait, Pepe, can I interrupt you and just ask McZed to re-explain that rather complicated statement which he just made in response to T-Rups?
No one
Yes,
can.
please, what I'm doing.
I just sent you the money, Pepe.
How do you... Shut the fuck up. How do you know? Shut the fuck up, Chino. How do you know that what McZed said was not complicated, T-Robs? That was very complicated what he just said.
I didn't say complicated. I said filibustering.
How is that filibustering? McZed, can you at least explain what you said? Because I am interested in it.
Continuing to say words without actually answering a question is filibustering.
Yeah, what question did I fail to answer?
You didn't address any points. Regardless, I'll give an example. We'll remove
I don't
this
think you
section
remember what
because
you asked.
because
So how could you call it a filibuster? How could you do that? You're not answering my question, right?
Okay.
What specific
By
question did I
talking
fail
about
to answer?
filibustering,
No
it's
more
still
filibustering, as you
That's
would think.
amazing. I'm gonna talk about where I'm from because
Yeah, I got it,
Nothing.
Tino.
I got nothing.
I got it, Tino.
Come on, give us an answer.
I by birth.
Come on, Lassie.
Yeah, I got it, Tino.
Answer.
Thanks.
Birth, I'm entitled.
Alright, shut up. I want to hear what Team has got to say, and then you can answer him like that, please.
I, by birth, am entitled to something, although I have not taken it up. I am entitled to a second passport of another nation. Not that one I was born in, but it is available to me. That is what I believe is also the case for another nation, which will remain nameless for the moment. It would be incredibly naive to think that I do not have some form of allegiance to this other nation, even though I have not taken action. I've not went through the bureaucratic process. I do not have that document in my hand. I've never had a document in my hand, but I am legally entitled to it. It is mine if I choose to. It is
Okay,
incredibly
now-
naive. It's incredibly naive to believe that people with that access, let's just word it like that,
Before
do not have
McZed answers,
somewhat of an allegiance to that.
before
that
McZed
place.
answers,
Okay, so
I'm not correcting it.
allegiances and loyalties are very subjective and cannot be assumed.
Yes, well, they can.
But he's not entirely wrong
I
though.
just want to.
Hold on,
I
McZed.
know he's
This is
not,
why
but
people
he's
listen.
Hold on.
I know
This
he's
is
not
why
entirely wrong.
any of you work in the defense industry, like I have.
Yeah.
This is why there are no. Remember they tried to go after Elon.
Okay, so if I can clarify
Okay.
your question.
No, you don't need to clarify. I was making.
Oh,
a
you
fucking
weren't
point.
done with your
They went
Brother,
over.
T, why do you sound like a drunken Irish?
No.
There wasn't
Yeah.
enough foreigners. There wasn't enough foreigners in SpaceX. It's literally part of the ad-harm. Oh, amazing! Just mute because you were fucking weak. There's the legislation. Oh, okay, you cannot employ. Okay, they're real.
Yeah, what's the point of
Okay.
How easy it is to say
Real cute. You
Yeah,
can't
what's the
take
point
it.
of that?
Okay. You cannot hire Chinese nationals in SpaceX. You cannot hire fucking Russian nationals. You cannot hire non-US citizens in defense contractors, for example, like SpaceX. Why might that be? Why might that be? Anyone care to guess? You can.
Oh, so now you're ready. Are you ready for an answer?
Why don't they?
Let me know when you're ready for
Why
an
don't
answer.
they hire foreign?
Come on, let's not mute like this.
You're fucking weak ass child.
Just let me know when you're ready.
You're the
Dude, why are you doing that, man?
Yeah,
because
there's
it's
like
pathetic.
Once he has a get
Fucking
stop
pathetic
talking.
in this room.
He
You're
complains
fucking
that
pathetic.
filibuster.
He's trying to make a point. He's actually trying to make a point, though.
Just let me know when you're
This
done.
is the problem making moderators of people who can't control themselves.
So, T, are you done with your point?
Hey, that's anti-Semitic.
Well, I mean, Issa and I would generally, we're pretty liberal when it comes to, we try to let everybody speak, but we don't bully people or even people with really opinions that you may find really offensive. So it's
T,
not good.
are you ready for an answer yet?
Damn, man, damn.
Okay, again, this
Keep
measuring
probably
contest
still talking to
is
yourself.
over.
We'll wait until he's
Now.
ready for an answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he's
you weren't
ready for an
saying
answer, McZed. Stop dick measuring
I'm
contest.
not waiting for an answer from you.
I would like.
Okay.
The-
He does
I'm
not
waiting
want
for
an
an
answer.
You want more
Rhetorical
question?
question.
I'm making it about you. It's not about you, bro. Sorry to tell you. It's not.
Right. Okay, so your
So
question.
you're just gonna filibuster
again-
and continue.
Okay, you don't want to talk about.
I love this. I love that I don't have to do this and waste my energy. I can just listen and enjoy.
Okay.
Okay, now we
what?
try to
Okay,
get
what?
Paul.
Ready for an answer?
You think you're qualified to answer?
Okay, what?
Okay.
Okay.
You're qualified to answer.
There you go. Go. Keep going. Let us know when you're done.
So
Does
awesome.
anyone have an answer to the question?
Oh my god, he's about to answer.
I love it. I
college career there, you did have the CIA and the NSA that were there on 2 of the days. And I do remember them saying you had to be a U.S. citizen, point blank. Even when it comes to people that are foreign born, it's a real problem. So it makes sense. So I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you there.
But the question is, it's not about disagreeing that whether this is a fact or not.
Right.
It's
That
about,
wasn't the question. You answered it badly, Pepe. Try again.
okay. Pepe answered it correctly as soon as
So I
you
do. Wait. Oh,
I do federal government.
has an interesting.
Yeah, like why would they allow non-citizens to fucking become president? Why?
You let me know when you're ready for an answer.
Okay.
Well, because
I'm not
that's the
waiting.
rule everywhere in the world.
Oh, no,
But I guess his
No,
point
it's not
is
necessarily
that
true everywhere.
they don't allow
So the DC.
They don't allow any Russians, and then they don't allow any Chinese, and they don't allow any not even if they are U.S. citizens, because of conflict of interest and because of potential spies. Now, his challenge here, and I know where he's going, is why, if this happens in like the military aspect, why does not that happen in the government aspect? That nobody that has a double citizenship, regardless of whether it is Italian or Jewish or whatever it is, it should be only U.S. citizens, so that there is no conflict of interest, and they actually act in the how do you say, in the goodness of the nation, in the interest of the nation.
Yeah, but we know this.
If I can say this now, in DCSA, which is the Defense Counter Surveillance Agency, which does all the clearances for people and governs this whole thing, the exact words are, those who are not United States citizens pose a threat to America because their allegiances are not within the United States. The government agency, if they want to hire the person, must sponsor the person for citizenship, okay? And only one citizenship is granted. Can that person be given any type of security clearance or access to any federal government agency or systems or computers? I do this every day. I'm a security analyst. I'm not the FSO from the company, but so I do this every day. And what Tim's premise is basically is that, if you're not, they believe that you're a threat to everything you do if your allegiances lie elsewhere. And so you have to show that your allegiance is the United States of America and prove it. Now, green card holders can be, contrary to what was told though, can be hired for limited government positions. However, they have to rescind their home country's passport. In other words, you could say, like, for example, Indian citizens who are green card holders end up working for the State Department. However, they have to give their passport to the State Department and not travel to India. And if they do travel to India, they have to check in with, every, I think 2 days with where they are and with the United States Embassy.
Is this currently?
This currently.
With all green card holders?
No, with Indian citizens at least.
Just
I don't know about
Indians.
others. I don't know about others, but that's what's been happening lately. But I don't know about other green card holders, but I do know with Indian green card holders, that's what the State Department had done previously when they hired those people. Also, the federal government does hire foreign nationals, but they hire them with their loyalty to America. For example, you need a Russian to be a spy, right? So you hire them here, but you're under the care of America, right? Wherever you go, we own you, bitch, kind of thing, and then you eventually get your citizenship and all that kind of stuff. So so they do hire those people, just a little nuance, but it's basically, we own you and you can't do shit. And you're completely watched, your entire life is surveilled.
Well, can I speak on something that Tim was saying where I will agree? I have now, people will say, and I've heard, it is really weird, and there's actually Jews on this app who will do this, and of course they tend to come from the left. I'm somebody who personally is completely fine with ethno-nationalism. If the Netherlands, if whatever country in Europe, Asia, Africa says, you know what, we just don't want foreigners into our country, we don't want to demographically to have any of the problems like what we see now in the West. A lot of the Jews, I'm not saying all Jews, but a lot of Jews will say that is wrong, that is racist, that is bigoted, blah, 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 blah. The fact, ethno states are bad. However, when it comes to Israel, they completely do a 180, and they will say, no, Jews need to remain the overwhelming majority, otherwise we'll no longer have a homeland. Well, and the reason why I think that irritates a lot of people like myself is because, well, the French only have one fucking homeland, and it is France, for example. And they should be afforded every fucking right to demographically remain the overwhelming majority, just as Israel would. And so we do hear from many Jews in the West that double standard, and it really does piss a lot of us off.
So basically, they're saying that Jews cannot hold offices because they have allegiance to Israel, even though they're not Israelis?
No. If you're born here, it doesn't matter.
No, he's referring to the one of the passports.
No,
Holding Israel passports. Yeah.
No, not what you said.
Yes, he said that it would
Yeah,
be
but he is referring
for a state to trust someone that had the potential for immediate national identity in another location.
Well, so if we put it into facts, he says that Jews cannot hold offices because they have allegiance to Israel. Because the fact that they're Jews automatically gives them, and they should not.
I did not say they cannot. These are not words I actually said, by the way. This is an amazing creep of putting words in people's mouths.
I don't think you were speaking for a long time. I was kind of minimizing basically what you're trying to bring on stage here.
Mind reading or your mind reading?
No, I'm just an intelligent person, and
if you know what I'm going to say,
maybe if you try to mute up when others speak, you will be able to hear other voices except the one that is in your head.
Don't try to put words in my mouth, asshole.
I will do whatever I want, and then you can answer, okay?
You can lick the back.
Naive was the
Great. Don't get triggered, please. What you came here on stage claiming and reading all the list of all the Jews saying that they have allegiance to another country, even that they don't have passport, you saw that as a problem. You saying basically the Jews holding office is a problem. The fact is that you read a list of Jews that are not Israelis, just Jews. That is your problem.
Wait,
wait,
passport status? No, you know their current passports, because
that's what I was going to say.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
Like when he was mentioning the list, wasn't the list of the people that had dual passports?
No, it wasn't. It was just Jews. No, it's just Jewish people. It was not passport holders, the ones that they were impersonating. It was just general Jews in general.
The British military, right? There's an example of this where we have an incredibly close allegiance with our Irish brothers, right? I am an Irishman and have been a part of the British military, but yet there are roles within the military, that the British. To preface this, the British will allow Irish nationals to join the British military, and that has been the case for if not decades, maybe 100 years. I don't know, incredibly long time. But there are roles within the military that they cannot. You must be a natural born citizen within Great Britain that the Irish are not allowed to join. Primarily the intelligence services and a lot of the officer classes. Even particularly, for example, say pilot. You have to be an officer to be a pilot in the Air Force. So why is it, again, that even someone you have an incredibly close relationship, that essentially you're almost DNA identical with, that even though you're so closely aligned, you still won't let them into the highest levels? But yet there are people who are completely different from us.
I'm curious, if you're an Irish-born...
It's no problem.
Sure, but if you're a person that is of Irish descent or ancestry that is born in the UK, okay, you will be allowed to work in intelligence, okay? So in the UK, now, just like if you're a Jew born in the United States, okay, it's same thing. I don't quite understand the distinction. Are you saying that because... Hold on. Because Jews are able to make Aliyah back to Israel, that somehow just that in and of itself, not the fact that they're actually citizens, but just the fact that they're able to, is you think that makes it so that they have dual loyalty or allegiance or a great degree of allegiance?
I'm not saying it is therefore. I'm saying that the fact that these rules exist elsewhere in the world in other comparable institutions, let's let's say, like the military versus.
But we're talking about Jews that were born here in the United States.
I'm trying to get around to the point. The fact that it shows that there are restrictions on these things shows that there's something to this point, right? And that maybe it's something we're thinking about when they're so overly represented, or maybe not. Maybe the whole world has no problem. I don't know, but that's for the world to decide.
Okay, but
I don't think. Just let me try and crash on. I don't think that the world actually is aware of the concentration of this. Regardless, yes, someone who has, like, say, Irish parents and they move to London, and then the kids are born there in England, and technically have a British passport, they probably would not be restricted in joining, for example, the intelligence corps, right? That is a true statement. But there's quite a big difference between Christians and Judaism and Jews, right? Christians don't believe they belong to a single piece of land.
We don't. I do. I'm blood and soil. What are you talking about?
As a Christian.
Well, I'm white, and I do believe that ethno-nationalism is a good thing.
No, whatever. I'm not complaining about ethno-nationalism here. What I'm saying is, what part in the Bible that the Christian people, right, feel a homeland to? What single country? Like, there's nothing comparable like it.
It's not meant to be one. Yeah, there's not one.
Right.
But would you feel the same thing if the Biden administration? Hold on, Tim. If the Biden administration was half full, would you be concerned?
Sorry, I broke up. If they were half what?
Japanese. Biden administration.
100%. Dude, they interned people in fucking camps when they were Japanese during World War II. Okay, but yet, others get special treatment, and this is the point. It's like it's okay for one group, but not another. The question is why. The question is why.
Okay, well, let's just go to the why. I have my own theories on this, and they're not really disputed to any great deal.
You mean AIPAC?
No. Why do you think Jews are overrepresented in, I would say, positions that will require very high levels of education, generally from elite schools, and I don't know, even in the sciences? We can look at, they're overrepresented in fields that, medicine, law, just in general, anything that requires a good deal of intellect. Why do you think they're overrepresented?
Is it a general question to the room or just to Tim?
Well, to Tim. I'm curious. Why does he think they're overrepresented?
I think, you see, this is where you get quote-unquote tripped up, right? And they go, aha, got you, okay? I think that it's a stronger argument. You don't have to infer why. You don't have to even necessarily talk about motive. You simply just have to display and shine a light on what is.
But that's lazy.
Why is it understand the fact that, say, the Jews, for example, were expelled out of England when they were coin clipping? Does anyone know what coin clipping is? We know. Okay, so, like, we just have to talk about what is. They talk about, like, oh, we've been expelled from every land we've ever been called a home and blah, blah, blah. The question is maybe why? Why?
Yeah, I'm like, perfect.
You guys are talking about the Jews occupying important positions. Today Indians are the Jews of tomorrow.
Not really, but
we occupy all the important positions, okay?
Hey, Pepe. But why even ask that question when there's no definitive answer?
Oh, well, no, there is a definitive answer that does explain a lot of it, and so.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to say? Yes.
I was just gonna say that there is. I mean, a lot. What's really funny is that I get a lot of the people that are wanting to just ask questions and point it out. I mean, we do know that there are group differences that appear to largely be biological or genetic in nature, where some groups just tend to, maybe on average, their level of intelligence for that group.
About the genetics.
It might be a little bit higher than others, but it's funny. All of a sudden, they reverse course when once it was just. Hold on.
I'm not reversing course. But genetically or whatever. Okay, so
did I even finish my fucking point?
Go ahead.
So, like, there are. It's funny. All of a sudden, you get like white Gentiles. They'll say like, yeah, look at these people. We know what part of their problem is, and it's largely true. And but then it's like all of a sudden you see one group where it's like almost a standard deviation difference, at least in America, and like their average IQ. It's just like, oh, that's it. Somehow it's bullshit. It's tomfoolery. This is bullocks. But if you look at the tail ends of the spectrum, how much more overrepresented they're going to be for those that are high IQ. In other words, people who can make it through an elite school and get advanced degrees and have, you know, important jobs, yeah, there's going to definitely be a significant overrepresentation. And so it's not, and then we also can see their culture. They emphasize education a lot.
So
More so.
Okay,
So do- yeah, that's what's
hold
up.
on. My theory is to. Oh my God.
It's just IQ.
My
You know,
theory.
their IQ's higher than East Asians. Asians also tend to be in different.
You are describing the Indian community.
What does a woman have to do in this room to be heard?
I mean, it's your room. Go ahead.
So, my theory is that it's due to two things. One, the fact that they were being thrown out of everywhere around in the world and they were dispossessed from their wealth and their property. And so instead of investing anymore in tangible things, they started investing it in their children and their education and in things that they wouldn't be able to take away from them. So this is how you get very highly educated people. And then, of course, because of that circumstances as well, those circumstances, then they build strong bonds with each other because they need to protect themselves. So they create a strong network. And then, of course, you're gonna let me finish. So, and then they of course help each other. I don't know why people try to demonize networks. I have a network I believe is strong, and I am not ashamed of using it, you know, the same way that I am glad to be of service to my network. So why wouldn't you help each other? So I think that that's the reasoning. However, I don't think that they are some sort of black hand so they might be overrepresented because of those reasons, but I don't think that they are some sort of dark hand or black hand that is managing everything. And I don't understand what is preventing anyone else from doing exactly the same thing.
What do you mean? What else?
Instead of going traveling or whatever,
No group
invest in your own education, become someone that is you make me lose my train of thought. And English is sometimes
we can't be like Issa. We can't be like them. Like that's the problem. Shut the fuck up, Thomas.
You do.
No,
and get on, go where you want to be and stop complaining about it. What is preventing you to achieve those positions of power?
Yeah, there's a reason why.
Jews were thrown out of.
Oh my God.
But Jews were hospitals, you know, they were taken care of in India. In India, they were not thrown out. They were not suffering in India. It's only in the West that the Jews suffered. So yeah, Indians, we treated the Jews very well. And you.
I don't understand that.
But this argument was, Issa, this is why it's a problem, okay? Is that you're trying to tell, first of all, I am somebody who thinks that groups of people, okay, who've literally had different selection pressures, you know, for having offspring. Some, you know, for example, had arranged marriages, and it kind of promoted, I guess you could say, people with better traits, especially like, you know, more likely to be successful. You know, they pick for that kind of thing. We can see this, for example, India was a place where it's done it. Jews, where, of course, they had their arranged marriages. So I really... anyways, to think that one group can just work as hard and do as well as another group, I think that is awfully fucking silly. Like, it's just, groups of people are different. Certain groups are going to be more successful. It's just a fact of fucking life. There's nothing you can do about it.
The conditions, the resilience, everything.
Yeah, but not
I've got a challenge for you. Then how do you explain most immigrants in America that are succeeding and running their own businesses, and they come from impoverished Latin America? How is that possible? The conditions are in their favor. You did.
No, I did not. When did I say? Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. When did I say? When name once where I mentioned immigrants into the United States, and then
you said cults or groups coming in their certain circumstances are, you know, you're frivolous in thinking that they can't succeed. That's what you basically said.
No, literally not what I said. I said groups of people are not going to, I think, be capable of performing as well as each other in certain areas. Like, for example, we can look at Mexicans. I like Mexicans. I grew up around them. They're perfectly fine people. do I think Jews will ever be successful? The Mexicans will ever be successful like the Jews were in this country? Absolutely not. I don't think it's even possible. That's just my fucking opinion.
I mean, if they went to the positions of power, then use their because culturally they do stick together. But the thing is,
but culturally they do not work at placing their hands on the levers that control the world.
What levers? What the fuck are you talking about?
Banking.
Banking. Let's go down to banking.
Who owns the media?
Okay, the media depends on
owns the media.
It depends on which media you're talking about. But let's talk about the banks. There's one bank in America of the top Big Ten that I guess you could say is Jewish. Do you know what it is? Out of the top 10.
You know, banks are irrelevant. It's central banks which are important.
The other day somebody made a comparison and said, okay, who funded Hollywood actually? Who invented Hollywood? Of course it was the Jews, so why is it so weird that they own it? And the same way, it's like, who invented, I don't know, Indian food? So are you surprised that most Indians built
America?
Hold on. Wait, Issa, by that logic, then black people shouldn't be like the dominant factor in the NBA. Because they didn't invent it.
Because you didn't create it, Karsten. The funding didn't come from you. I'm sorry.
Black Americans are a prime example, of West African descent, of people that they're probably going to always remain overrepresented in the NFL and NBA because their top performing athletes they're way more overrepresented than white people. So much so that they're going to actually outnumber us.
Well, I understand some of the genetic issue or whatever, or genetic piece of that, but it's not just because it's more cultural and environment. So you're breeding and you're actually like training these things, and that's what you value.
I disagree.
You're not valuing.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
So we can't have more Thomas Souls in the black. Wait, hold on. Well, hold on. I got a question for you then. So we can't have more Thomas Souls in the black community? We're going to have more LeBron James?
Sure, you can. You can. I'm somebody who does believe, and I don't. It's not. It's not something I want to believe. But do I believe that? But do I believe that I'm not going to say anything disparaging about the black community. But do I think that producing per capita people that are say top 0.1% of people in this country of intelligent, successful, intelligent, all of that. I think you guys are going to be pretty underrepresented compared to other groups of people.
We had more from the 30s to the 50s. We had way more. And between all these different environmental factors, point out abortion, all this other stuff, and you're selecting out, or you're not even selecting for the right traits.
Yeah, but Karsten, obviously your question is facetious because we know that any black man can pick up a book and educate himself. Ain't that a fact now, Karsten?
Jefferson,
but it's a question of values, though. What do you value?
Sure, it is a question of values. First of all, I want to emphasize we're talking about people we're talking about intellectuals, very, very, very rare people. Which I can guess nobody in this room is obviously going to or likely to be one. I'm not one. We're talking about people in the extremes, the tail end, where unfortunately different groups of people just did not produce the same outcomes. I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, I mean, you have certain things that are bringing the average down, if you will, amongst all communities. They're feeding us junk food.
These things can be both true. That some things are more likely, the man on average, the random man in the street is more likely to be more disagreeable than the average woman. You pull, the amount of a group of 1,000 people or whatever. Sure, but at the end of the day, that's not really what comes down to it. It's about incentives. What is incentivized? You look at things like, for example, who owns the media, who owns the music industry, and then you hear artists like Ice Cube or Ice-T, forgive me, I don't know which one I'm not. Which one is it that the Tucker Carlson interviewed, Carson?
Ice Cube
talking about literally the same groups of people that own the records are heavily invested in the private prisons, and that how they were influenced in the times of like NWA about in their music writing and the lyrics about like being told, oh, this is hot, let's do more of that, right? And actually heading towards the degeneracy, not the Four Tops, not the Temptations. It was influenced and incentivized to poison a culture. I think it could be strongly.
I actually am going to call bullshit. 100%. No, the gangster rap was not invented by by Hollywood. It did exist beforehand. You can make the argument that after the rise of gangster rap that a lot of it was astroturfed by Hollywood. Sure, that's what they do with every genre.
In what year or decade would you be referring to?
Probably very early 90s.
Right.
Because I can remember the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah. Hey, wait, check this out though. Like, okay, we're gonna go down this or whatever. Okay, what's promoted more, the ignorant shit or the intelligent stuff? Like, yeah, degeneracy, all this shit. Because guess what? There was a balance in the early 90s, and then all of a sudden you had this shift to where the marketing's all one way. To where all you get is like fucking drill rappers being promoted now.
Well, did you?
You're making an argument where it's very easy, and I think I kind of see you doing it now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, gangster rap and the fucked up things that you see in your culture, it's your people. No offense. If we look, hold on. Bullshit.
Oh my god.
If we look at when blacks were doing the worst. Okay, it was the late 80s, early 90s. Peak fucking homicide rates. When the crack epidemic was fucking, wide scale. All right, black people. I mean, first of all, if anything, it was art imitating life. I mean, this was like the black community was super fucking in the late 80s, early 90s, and this was steadily rising from the late 60s. I mean, it was going on for a long time. This is pre-fucking gangster rap.
Pepe, you gotta be very specific. You gotta be very specific though. Like in the inner city, maybe that is the case. But
no, it was definitely the case.
But not in my area was it the case.
Okay. Nationally, nationwide, black people were doing a lot worse. They were in much more poverty. They were much more violent in the 80s and 90s. That's a fact.
Even if this is
right now
true, it doesn't seem
yes, then right now, much higher. The homicide rates were about, if I recall correctly, at least double what they were right now.
No, I'm not talking about homicide rates. I'm talking. You said poverty first.
Poverty was worse then too.
So poverty was worse in the 90s than it is right now.
80s and 90s, absolutely.
In the black community right now.
Yep.
With the amount of single
crime argument now, we're so far down away. It doesn't we're arguing about something that's completely kind of almost irrelevant. See, when we're fighting each other, it misses the point, and that's when
Okay, but you want to say that Jews caused the degeneration of the black community when that was going on for fucking decades.
Myself.
No.
Incentivizing is actually what I was saying. Right?
Incentivizing, we're fucking great. Why is it that after they incentivized it started to get better?
It was a Jewish incentivization program put out by Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's be honest, it's a conspiracy.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Last night, where someone who manages artists was talking about, I would take the shitty record deal and I would have it to be as short as possible so that I could use these same people's networks influence.
I love how somebody from Northern Ireland thinks they know the Hollywood business and how Jews have desecrated the black community through fucking marketing. Can't believe they're gonna kick me and let T. Robs and fucking that Schwartz run their fucking mouths all day long. Oh my god. Fucking waste of time. Waste of time. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Hello. Hello, Miss Death. How are you, Miss Death? What's new, Miss Death? Something new and exciting in your life? Hello.
Is it a stretch to believe that they do what they want with their money? I'm just trying to summarize it. I'm not smart as you, dude.
Well, is it a level playing field where the best artist wins and it's actually what the popular culture wants?
Jesus Christ, T-Rod. You got sour grapes, bro. You are such a little bitch, T-Rod. Why do you have such deep sour grapes for Boy Night Shalorlin?
Okay, so if you're asking, like, do I think that if there was anything that was
China owned the media.
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
Genderism.
All right.
Everyone gets their knickers in a twist. So let's just talk about the Chinese.
You know the
No, we're not doing that.
is
We're
about
talking
transgender,
Scientologists,
right?
Like, if Scientologists own the fucking media and they promoted everyone else that was a fucking Scientologist.
Okay, but here's the problem. Okay, hold on.
No one would care.
Yeah, okay, you're just rambling on. Here's the fucking problem. Here's the fucking problem. Here's the problem. Okay, you think, okay, and so I understand. I see, I'm kind of seeing the pattern, all right? You think that, for example, transgenderism is a Jewish psyop or some shit. Am I correct?
It's literally a Jewish creation.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally a Jewish creation. Dennis Prager, by the way, right wing, literally says and quote himself, you'll find the clips, every ism that's ever been created.
Yeah, feminism, communism, yeah.
Every single one of them is Jewish.
I agree
That's not okay.
No, I agree that, yes, I do agree that when it came to
1919 or something else.
Yeah, but when you have leftists, when you have like far leftist faggots in the United States, especially if you look at where a lot of them came from in the 1930s, because for obvious reasons, that were Jewish, yes, a lot of these guys are absolute pieces of fucking shit. I agree. Do I think that when you look at on the left or the right, you're going to see, and of course on the right you'll say it's controlled opposition probably, but on the left and the right, okay, you'll tend to see a lot of people in prominent positions or roles in politics. Is once again generally, those require these are people who went to Ivy League schools, they're very educated, they're smart, they're well spoken. So I mean, they're kind of overrepresented in those areas. So I don't know. I mean, do you think it's controlled opposition that you have people like, let's say, Ben Shapiro?
I think Ben Shapiro is controlled opposition.
He's 100%. It's really wired, 100%. Look how they just.
He's pro. No, he's obvious. He's not. He's 100% pro-Israel and Zionist. He's obviously.
He's an Orthodox Jew. Of course he's pro-Israel. What makes someone controlled opposition exactly?
And control on the levers of the fucking world. Okay. Would you not be more concerned?
Well, like the right winger controlled opposition.
Wait, hold on.
Actually, right wing.
Well, actually, Ben Shapiro is controlled opposition. It's the same
What's
time
controlled about him?
Wait, hold on. No, I'm not even talking about the Israeli thing or whatever. I'm just saying, like, he's allowed to grow.
Come on, El Normo, we didn't constantly go off Mike in your room. Don't do that here.
Just asking what we mean by control.
I know, but that's what I already asked him, so let me do it.
How far we're going to go down this? What does is mean?
Okay, you said that Ben Shapiro is controlled opposition. I'm willing to bet that you'll think anyone from Mark Levin, Dennis Prager, who else? We can look at Darren Beattie. We can look at probably the only white nationalist that's open, which is a fucking Jew. What's his name? Miller. Are you going to say that, like, these guys that are on the right in America that are Jewish, that they're controlled opposition?
It has nothing to do with them being Jewish. Like, Ben Shapiro is a plant.
How is he a plant?
A plant by who?
Yeah, why don't you just say what the fuck you know instead of making, fucking references? You're such a fucking dummy.
Hold on. God damn, dude. So, okay, so we know. Okay, so first of all, we've all heard Ben Shapiro speak. He's obviously a brilliant guy. He went to Harvard Law School. You can hear him. He's very articulate. He has the gift of gab. He can debate. He can go on a show, come up with topics that people are interested in. He produces this content, and a lot of people like it. I would say that that's hardly a plant. He's literally a talented person with a point of view, and people want to hear it. That's the opposite of a fucking plant.
Argues, though, with college fucking children. He went onto a and owns
That's not true.
He went. Because he couldn't handle from the BBC the most mildest of pushback.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Who's controlling it?
Can I report that?
He's not as high caliber as we can, pretend.
Well,
he's a low caliber.
that's obviously not the only case where he's debated someone. Like, obviously, like if you've watched any of his videos, you can tell that's not the only case where he's debated
So
someone.
he's got a high
Other than a college student. He's literally debated dozens of people. He debated Sam Harris on his own show. So if you're gonna say,
Sam Harris is retarded.
Okay.
Sam Harris, hold on a second. I want to make sure I get this right. Hold on.
Harris.
So hold on.
Stanford.
All right.
He's lost.
So okay. All right, amazing. So hold on a second. As you know, UCLA is not a private. Okay, amazing. UCLA is not a private. All right, okay.
So why do you kick T? Why do you kick me, but you don't kick T-Robs? I mean, T-Robs, shut the fuck up.
All right.
That's Edmund, I think. Is that Edmund?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who I am. Yeah, fucking faggots. Fucking faggots. Yeah, he's a faggot. I can't stand him.
Zach, I'm just warning you. I've got nothing against Republican Chicago. He's a nice guy, but don't let him on stage because he's just gonna.
Oh, will you?
He just love.
You're afraid I'm gonna talk, Frankie? Ooh.
She sued them for like 11 million.
Okay, non-rik, yeah.
Hey, Gabba, why are you so gay, Gabba? Get a haircut, you weird motherfucker.
He's sleeping, he's not here.
Oh, good, then I will keep talking, my love. It is good to see you, my little beautiful princess. Allah mak habibdi.
Hade du Gallia kunnat föda någons barn för 100 miljoner?
Aldrig.
Nej. Jag tror inte det finns någon människa, alltså det här får man se på samma sätt som sexköp. Ja, någon kan säga att jag är helt okej med det här arbetet, men 99,9%, alltså ingen hade valt att göra det i princip. Det kanske finns en människa som fetischerar det i världen, men ingen hade valt att göra det om de satt på miljonerna. Och på samma sätt
jag hade aldrig gjort det.
Nej, inte du. Men du betyder bara att du är en normal människa. Ingen hade
Nej, alltså jag menar, alltså du vet...
Jag fan vill odla andras människor i sin kropp.
Jag menar, det handlar inte bara om det också liksom. Man ska gå igenom allt, du vet, hela graviditeten och sånt. Fan, det är...
Ja.
Usch.
Som en sån inseminerad jävla kossa som har blivit så våldtagen med en diskhandske för att föda fler mjölkor. Liksom. Vi kan inte göra sådana människor. Det går inte. Det måste stay förbjudet. Ja, alltså det är ett sånt äckligt samhälle där det skulle tillåtas. Och det är ju USA.
Är du emot abort förresten?
Nej, inte helt. Alltså jag är emot att använda abort som ett jävla preventivmedel.
You see, my darling, I am studying Swedish so we can be married and raise a beautiful Swedish family.
Ja, vad heter det? Ja, men jag absolut... Alltså jag vet inte hur man ska lagstifta det. Jag tycker att man ska sänka veckorna lite. Jag tycker att det ska finnas skäl, även om det är svårt att kontrollera de skälen. Men det ska inte vara några så sydamerikanska eller polska regler där din farbror kan våldta dig och du ska föda det barnet sen liksom.
Ja, precis. Jag håller med dig.
Men sen tycker jag att det är också lite nasty och så plocka ut barn alltså i USA faktiskt, där tänker man att det är så här abortmotståndare, men där kan du ju fan göra abort i vissa stater fram tills 3 veckor innan du ska födas det. Nu vet jag att det inte tillhör vanligt.
Va?
Ja, alltså de har vissa stater som är så här, ja, du får inte göra det i den här staten, du får åka till nästa, men vissa stater i USA har liksom, vad är det i Sverige, vecka 18 eller något sånt där.
Och diskussion ligger typ så här. Något parti kanske vågar sticka ut hakan och säga vecka 16. Det är den enda reella skillnaden i det svenska klimatet angående abort liksom. Men i USA finns det så här att du kan göra abort i vecka 30 typ. I vissa stater.
Sjukt alltså.
Då är det färdiga barn man plockar
Ja,
ut.
det är sinnessjukt. Usch.
Men man får ju nästan ha en religiös approach till det. Om man anser att cellklumpen som fäster är liv redan liksom. Men å andra sidan så hade du inte gjort någonting åt det så hade det blivit liv.
Men,
och sen är det här, får man göra bort när man har tagit ett sånt fostervattensprov och ser att det är en kurdisk downing som ska komma ut. Det är också en grej, ska man få kolla sånt?
Nej.
Är du emot det?
Abort eller menar du emot?
Nej, alltså när man ser att det är något kromosomfel eller så när man tar det som fostervattensprov.
Inte alls.
Du är inte emot det? Nej.
Är du det?
Är du? Nej, det är jag faktiskt inte. Jag tycker inte det är schysst. No.
Det är det ju inte. Jag tycker man är jävligt självisk.
Däremot så är jag också trött på den sidan av debatten som är så här kvinnans kropp och bara hennes val. Det tycker jag är helt efterblivet.
Ja, det är också fel.
Ja, och sen den här grejen är så här, det är alltid mitt val, när som helst, hur som helst. Det ska alltså drive-in abortkliniker där du bara kan åka in 2 veckor efter du har haft ett one night stand och så bara suger de ut det med en vakuumpump i fittan på dig. Alltså det är så här, man vill inte leva i ett sånt samhälle heller liksom.
Nej, alltså jag tycker det är fel. Jag tycker liksom både kvinnan och mannen ska få bestämma. Så att...
Ja. Men det är en svår fråga och det är verkligen en av de frågorna som jag har svårt att landa i en riktigt stark position. Jag har också lite, även om inte jag är religiös, så har jag också lite av synen på livets helighet liksom. Och därför kan jag tycka att det är svårt att avgöra det här med att sätta veckor och sånt. Och speciellt speciellt eftersom utvecklingen går framåt. Alltså det kommer komma till ett skede där man i princip skulle kunna plocka ut det här fostret 3 veckor efter. Och vi har liksom den medicinska kunskapen för hur man får det barnet i en kubas.
What is wrong with the person?
Ja, nej, men så det är en svår fråga det där. Jag vill säga att abort är mord, men jag tycker också inte alltid att det är det. Eller, så här, eller i sådana fall så tycker jag är okej med vissa mord liksom.
Nej, jag håller med dig. Nej. Du då, Cassius? Han
tror att ängeln Gabriel kommer ner och blåser liv i fostret efter 36 dagar eller vad fan det är. I sin trumpet.
Hey, what's up, Bagman?
What up?
Boy.
You fucking idiot, you embarrassed me earlier in that room. You didn't answer the question that the gentleman was asking you. What is wrong with you, fucking idiot? You Jewish community.
Yeah, do you remember Syria, the girl who would always hang out with Darius and Sariel?
Yeah.
Where is she?
I just found out she's dead. I saw her in the room the other day, no?
Hey, Uzi, как дела?
Хорошо, спасибо.
Да.
Oh, wow. I love that language, it's so gorgeous.
I'm trying to see. Where is she?
I saw her in the room yesterday. She was in the room with Darius and Yam and everyone. In the audience, so. What? Yeah.
I'll text you, hold on.
Yeah. Yo, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Are you having a bath? Can you hear me still, or is the headphones fucked up? No, I'm asking you, are you having a bath?
No, I'm walking up to the store. Oh, are these new headphones shit?
Oh, they sound alright.
Ugh. I usually don't use headphones, but walking up to the store. What's up?
Yeah, Al, like nobody's actually saying anything intelligent, so just like keep walking and your headphones sound great.
Thanks so much. That's so cool of you. Love that for us.
But why would you say anything intelligent in Clubhouse? I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's Clubhouse, right?
I don't know, that's a you problem, Riri.
That's part of the joke of like the intelligent